So I'm back today to meet with Ruse Bear. He is the owner of Ruse Jewelry, to kind of see the collection he's working on and get a behind the scenes peek of what it's like to be a goldsmith in Toronto. So let's go see Ruse.
Embark on a journey of exploration. Seek answers like the spirit of Olabisi Adisa Omajala.
I'm goldsmith. I'm jewelry designer and maker. I'm Persian from Iran. I came here to
What is that? Do you know?
I've been selling my pieces online on my website, on my Instagram, and also I distribute my pieces in a few different locations in Toronto, and they are selling for me.
Does Ruse Jewelry come from Ruse Bear?
Yeah, Ruz means day in Iran, in Persian. So Ruz, my name is Ruz Bear, means like having a better day or like prosperous day. Yeah, thank you. And I went to Georgetown one day to find out how to study fashion. I went to sign up for fashion. And
like
then,
clothing?
Clothing, yeah. I was thinking to go and be a fashion designer. And then, just out of nowhere, I saw a showcase of jewelry stuff in the fashion department in Georgetown College. And then I said, wow, jewelry. I may be able to study jewelry. So I went upstairs and talked to jewelry coordinator, Paul, my floor, and that's it. Like I said, okay.
So it was accidental?
It's just accidental.
Wow.
No plan for that.
And look at you now.
Yeah. The reason I picked jewelry, honestly, was because I always wanted to make little sculptures. Not little, I wanted to make, I wanted to be a sculptor. I love to work with my hand to make sculptures. And I thought that day, like I might be able to, when I work with metal and learn how to manipulate metal and solder them together and form them, maybe I can be a sculptor. Still, this is my dream, that create wearable sculptures, wearable arts.
I never thought of jewelry as sculpture.
Yeah.
But they are. They're sculpted pieces.
Fine. Okay, finally. I didn't know where it was coming.
How does home influence your work? How does Iran show up in your pieces?
So, a lot. We have a strong culture, and it's really hard to ignore that. Even if you don't want, still it's in your blood or whatever. Yeah. So whatever I design, although I try to be more like modern, but still you can see the sign of that culture, that motifs, that like shapes, patterns, colors, you can tell that it's from that area. I have a collection called it's called like shards collection, inspired by broken pieces of pottery and ceramic. I was fascinated by the mastery and beauty of that patterns and colors and design in each
even when it's
piece.
broken.
Yeah. And then it remains in my brain for so many years until I became jeweler, and now there you go. Like I'm creating one-of-a-kind pieces that they are trying to imitate to to be like a broken pieces of ceramic. Or, yeah. And the pattern and motifs are still, you know, coming from that area.
I was actually going to ask you why turquoise.
Mhm. So, turquoise is one of the Iranian famous gemstone. The best turquoise in the world comes from Iran, a city called Neyshabur. It has a really rich, beautiful, like greenish blue color. And this color is made of copper actually. The copper content in that gem create that nice rich color, blue color, and because of the Iran has a lot of copper, and that rich copper mine create that beautiful turquoises, and I just love that. I just love that blue. You know, you can see in our what does it called, like buildings and stuff. You can see that blue everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful stone. It's a beautiful color. It's a color of something I love the most, which is the ocean,
Yeah.
and you know, sometimes the sky. So the turquoise was so endearing to me because it's gorgeous. It's a rich blue, and it's absolutely so beautiful. Is turquoise your favorite stone?
One of them.
What are your favorites?
Emerald, aquamarine.
You like aquamarine
turquoise.
too?
Yeah, that's one of my
Yay.
favorite.
Me
Yeah.
too. My birthstone is my birthstone.
Yeah, lovely. Also, tourmaline has a really lovely variety of color. I really love that tourmaline's color, different colors. Yeah, opals. I work with a lot of opals. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite metal that you like to work with?
Working with gold is much easier than silver.
What makes it easier?
Sorry?
What makes gold easier?
You know, like this is like a professional thing, right? It's much harder to work with silver because silver get tarnished easier, and when you put a flame on silver, there's a black thing gets in there, and it's really hard to remove that.
So it kind of stains it.
Yeah, and it gets there, and it's really hard to remove that. It's really hard to polish, and it doesn't withstand the polish really long because it's soft metal, and you have to work very hard on silver and then sell very low. Whereas like gold is much more forgiving and easy to work with, and you can sell better. So, but it's more expensive. I mean, but still, you know, it depends. It depends on a piece. I don't have a favorite metal, honestly. Sometimes a piece, like I like it to be made out of like bronze, so it can tarnish and, you know, get that rich, dark, rusty color over time. So gold don't give me that feeling, you know. If you look at my jewelry, probably you will find it like it doesn't look like anybody else.
When I first stumbled on your work, I thought how beautiful, and it was fine jewelry. It looked elegant. It looked like it could be worn by anybody on earth, but there was something about it that was very unique, and now I know that that's the story of your home. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of details in our like buildings, and if you look at them, there are like really fine details.
Intricate.
Yeah.
Do you
But-
wear any jewelry yourself?
Uh,
I haven't seen
As
any,
you
but I
can
don't know if
see,
you're
no.
working. That's why.
yeah. The problem is I'm working most of the day, and like our like material, all of them are like eroding jewelry, so I can't wear jewelry. I have a few pieces that I sometimes wear. I'm not really jewelry wearer.
Okay.
I'm ashamed of saying that. There are pieces that, you know, in my brain, one day I want to make them. They're kind of like more sculptural. but I haven't produced them yet. So
Okay.
yeah.
I have pieces in my brain too that I'd like to make, but obviously I have not as like I don't even have any jewelry making skill. I've seen you work, and what a skill! But how do we? If I wanted to make a collection,
Mm-hmm.
how do we do that? How do we work together to make a collection?
Actually, I'm doing with somebody else at the moment. So you just have an idea.
Okay.
We sit and like sketch, and we reach to the point that we agree on a design. We agree on the material, price point, gemstone that we are using or whatever. And then that's what I start like working professionally. I like if it needs to be hand fabricated, I hand fabricate that. If it needs to be 3D design and 3D printed, I do that. And then I'll show you the 3D prints, which is like your actual piece in resin before it cast it in gold or any other material.
Okay.
And then at that point, by having the weight of the wax, also I can tell you exactly how much it would cost you if it casts in whatever material.
Okay.
And then at that stage you can want to proceed the process, and then I start like producing it in material you wanted. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but your pieces are all handmade. So how
Yeah.
many pieces do you typically make in a collection at a time?
You know, I've never count, but they are not like. Still, my mass production is not like millions. They're tens or 20s, 30s. Yeah.
Dozens or
Dozens, yeah.
Got it. What's your dream for Ruse?
Good question. I really like to have a really nice shop in a like nice place where I have a little studio in that shop, and I produce my own one-of-a-kind artistic sculptures, little sculptures like wearable arts, and I'm famous enough that people would come and buy those. So I'm not making pieces for market, like I'm not considering market, I'm creating arts, which I'm not doing it right now. I have to consider market, and I just consider if this is something people would buy. At that point, I would want to create artistic pieces.
So the sculptor in you is still in there and
Yeah.
wants to come out.
Yeah.
Okay. If you weren't doing jewelry or photography, which you've done in the past, what would you be? Have you thought about that?
I like different things, and I feel like I can be successful in them, and they are totally different. I love gardening, and I can be a farmer. Like, I'm really good with plants. I can spend hours and hours on the farm and producing things. I also love cooking. I'm really good cook.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
Everything. I can cook everything.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to eat?
Everything. Iranian mostly.
Iranian food.
Kebabs. So yeah, I can easily open my own food store.
And you'd be successful. That is such a winning mindset. I love it.
Yeah.
I love
I
it
don't
so
know.
much.
Sometimes it's hard because, like, especially when I was like trying to, think of my future, I didn't know which path to go. I have like different favorites, and I could see myself be successful in each of them. And still I'm debating. Like, sometimes I feel like, should I stop this and go to that? Like,
Or find a way to do one as a hobby and one as a business.
Yeah,
right?
still I haven't been successful in that, but yeah, maybe.
Or maybe it's one at a time. Maybe you can do them all, but one at a time.
Yeah, maybe.
You know?
If I last long enough.
I hope you do. I think you will. I think you're going to be here for a long time. So I am creating this series called Show Me One Thing, and it's essentially telling the fascinating stories of people, places, professions that I find around the world. So we are in Toronto, and I saw your work. I found your work on Instagram, actually. I was looking for a jeweler, but I was not just looking for any jeweler. I saw a bunch of jewelers and I didn't really connect with their work. And I saw yours and I thought it would be fascinating. I thought your work was beautiful. I thought you might not even respond to me because I thought you were just, didn't think that this little girl wanted to tell your story, and you know, it was so beautiful. Your work is beautiful. I look forward to being able to buy one of your pieces. I look forward to being able to create a collection with you, hopefully. Because one of my dreams is to create a jewelry collection from my travels. So if I created a collection with you, it'd be a Toronto collection. And I already have the idea. It would be 6 stones because this is the 6, and each stone would be a different color and just a different vibrancy and energy to sort of talk about the vibrancy and the energy of Toronto.
Nice.
And yeah, so I'm excited about potentially doing that. How can people find your business?
Rouge Jewelry, I'm everywhere. I'm all the online platforms. I have a shop on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Etsy. I have a website. They are all linked together.
Do you have a TikTok page?
No, not TikTok. Not TikTok. I can't produce that much videos.
Content.
Yeah. And also, I'm participating in some shows over the city, mostly the most famous one, like Toronto Outdoor Art Fair and Cabbagetown Art and Craft Show.
Do you ever think of going to the CNE?
No.
No, because they have a market at the CNE.
I've heard that if they Google me, they can email me. I'm very responsive most
Yes,
of the
you
time.
are. That's why I'm here. But no, I think your work is incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for letting me into your workshop
My pleasure.
and showing me the behind the scenes of how some of our finest, most beautiful, one-of-a-kind pieces are handmade. And I think your work is absolutely gorgeous. It's
Thank you.
beautiful. So thank you so much for sharing that art with the world.
Thank
And I
you.
cannot wait to see when you have your shop and you're able to do more sculpted pieces like you want to.
Okay.
Thank you.
My pleasure.